Have you ever looked in the mirror, run your fingers through your hair, and quietly wondered, when did it start feeling so different? Maybe it used to feel soft, full, and easy to manage, but now it's dry, it's thinning, and sometimes it feels like no matter what you do, it just won't behave the same way. If you are over 60, this isn't your imagination. And more importantly, it's not your fault. Your hair is not just aging, it's evolving. It's responding to years of living, of loving, of change. And it's quietly asking you for something different now, something gentler, more thoughtful, and more in tune with who you are today. In this video, we are going to walk through everything your hair truly needs after 60, not just how to wash it, but how to care for it with grace, patience, and understanding. Because the way you used to care for your hair in your 30s or 40s, that routine no longer serves you. But what comes next can be even better. So let's begin. 1. Why it's not just aging hair, it's evolving. Let's start with something honest. Most women over 60 have been told that thinning, dryness, and shedding are just part of getting older, that it's natural, that it's inevitable, that it's just what happens. But that's not the full story, and it's certainly not the end of it. Your hair hasn't given up, it hasn't failed you. It's evolving, and to care for it properly, we need to understand why. The truth begins with hormones, specifically estrogen. Estrogen plays a quiet but powerful role in your hair's life. It helps keep your hair in the growth phase longer. It strengthens the follicles and keeps strands anchored firmly in place. But after menopause, estrogen levels drop. And when that happens, another hormone becomes more dominant, one called dihydrotestosterone. That's a mouthful, so let's call it by its initials, D, H, and T. DHT. DHT causes hair follicles to shrink over time. And when follicles shrink, hair becomes finer, weaker, and more prone to fall out. So no, you are not imagining the shedding. It is not all in your head, it is biology. And your scalp? It's changing too. Just like the skin on your hands or face, your scalp produces less natural oil as you age. That oil, called sebum, is what used to keep your scalp protected and your strands soft. Without enough of it, the scalp becomes more sensitive, more easily irritated by heat, chemicals, and rough handling. And when the scalp struggles, so does your hair. So yes, after 60, your hair is different, but not because it's worse, because it needs different things now. It's not a sign of loss. It's a sign that your hair, like you, has lived a lot of life, and it deserves a new kind of care. You've spent decades caring for others, for your family, your work, your home. Now it's time to care for something that's been quietly asking for your attention, yourself. And it begins, simply, with how you treat your hair. 2. The real reason your shampoo routine is working against you. Think about how you've washed your hair for most of your life. You get in the shower, grab the bottle, pour the shampoo, scrub your scalp, rinse, maybe follow with a bit of conditioner, then towel off and move on with your day. It's fast, it's automatic, and it's probably the exact same routine you've followed for decades. But here's what most women are never told. What used to work for your hair in your 30s or 40s could now be the very thing making it feel drier, weaker, and more fragile. As we age, our hair and scalp lose their resilience. The oils that once kept your scalp naturally protected are produced in smaller amounts, and the hair shaft itself becomes more porous. So when you continue washing the same way, using hot water, applying shampoo straight to the scalp, scrubbing with your nails, you may be unknowingly stripping away the little moisture that remains and putting stress on hair that's already more vulnerable than it used to be. Even the towel you wrap your hair in afterward, or the way you brush it, can quietly contribute to long-term damage. It's not about blaming yourself, it's about awareness. Because once you know better, you can do better. And when you shift from washing your hair as just a routine to treating it as a moment of nourishment and care, that's when everything starts to change. The truth is, you don't need a shelf full of fancy products. What your hair really needs now is a new kind of attention, more presence, more gentleness, more intention. Because hair after 60 isn't something you manage, it's something you care for. And in the next part, we'll walk step by step through exactly how to do that with a gentle method that supports strength, softness, and growth, without stress and without excess. 3. How to actually wash your hair, the gentle, strength-building way. Now that we understand why your old routine might be working against you, let's talk about how to do it right. Not just cleaner, but smarter. Not just softer, but stronger. Because washing your hair after 60 isn't about doing more. It's about doing it differently, with care and consistency. It begins with the shampoo you choose. At this stage, your scalp is more sensitive and your hair is more fragile, so it's time to leave behind harsh shampoos with sulfates, alcohols, or heavy artificial fragrance. Instead, look for formulas that are sulfate-free and designed for mature or thinning hair. Ingredients like aloe vera, biotin, chamomile, or gentle botanical oils help cleanse without stripping. If your hair is thinning, try a shampoo that supports volume and scalp balance without weighing you down. Next, check the water. Hot water feels relaxing, but it can open the hair cuticle too much, leaving it exposed and vulnerable. Use lukewarm water to cleanse gently without over-drying. Then, instead of pouring shampoo directly onto your scalp, start by rubbing a small amount between your palms to create a light lather. Apply that lather to your scalp, not the ends of your hair, and spread it using your fingertips. This helps you avoid putting too much product in one spot and protects the fragile root area. When it comes to massaging, your nails are not your tools. Use the soft pads of your fingers and move slowly in small, circular motions. Think of it less like scrubbing a surface and more like nurturing the soil. A gentle massage not only cleans more effectively, but also boosts blood flow, which feeds your follicles and supports growth. Rinsing matters more than you might think. Product residue can irritate your scalp and make hair appear dull, so take your time here. Use your fingers to part the hair and make sure the water reaches every area. You should feel it run clear, no suds, no slippery spots left behind. Now conditioner. Apply it only to the mid-length and ends of your hair, never the scalp. Use a lightweight hydrating formula and leave it in for 2 or 3 minutes before rinsing with cool water. That cool rinse helps to seal the hair cuticle, locking in moisture and adding natural shine. When you're done, dry your hair gently. Avoid wrapping it tightly in a towel or rubbing it dry. Instead, blot and lightly squeeze using a microfiber towel or even a soft cotton t-shirt. Let your hair air dry as much as possible, and if you do use a blow dryer, keep it on low heat and always apply a heat protectant first. These steps may sound simple, and they are, but the power is in how you do them. With patience, with attention, with the understanding that this is no longer just about washing your hair, it's about protecting it, supporting it, and giving it the care it's quietly been asking for. 4. Scalp massage, a lost ritual that changes everything. For many women, scalp massage sounds like something reserved for a luxury spa day, a treat you get once a year if you're lucky. But the truth is, this simple practice, done at home with your own hands, might be one of the most powerful things you can do for your hair after 60. When you massage your scalp gently and regularly, you stimulate blood circulation. That means more oxygen and nutrients are delivered to the hair follicles, which encourages healthier growth and strengthens each strand from the root. It also helps relax the muscles beneath the scalp, relieving tension you may not even realize you're holding. And perhaps just as important, it helps distribute the natural oils your scalp still produces, keeping your hair nourished without the need for heavy products. Start with clean fingertips. not your nails. You can do this in the shower while applying shampoo, or even better, before washing with a bit of warm oil. Use the pads of your fingers to move across your scalp in slow, small circles. Begin at the front near your forehead and gently work your way back. Focus on the areas where you notice the most thinning, like the crown, temples, or hairline. Use enough pressure to feel it, but never to the point of discomfort. You're not scrubbing. You're stimulating. If your hands tend to tire easily, or if you want to take your routine a step further, consider using a silicone scalp massage brush. These are soft, affordable, and designed to mimic fingertip pressure without scratching or pulling. They're especially helpful for lifting buildup and gently exfoliating the scalp, which improves the effectiveness of your shampoo. You can also enhance this ritual with natural oils. Just a few drops of warmed coconut oil can deeply hydrate a dry scalp. Castor oil is known for supporting thickness, and rosemary oil, when used consistently, has been shown to improve circulation and hair density over time. If you choose to oil massage, apply it section by section, then leave the oil in for 20 to 30 minutes before washing as usual. But beyond the science, there's something else that happens during scalp massage. Something harder to measure. It slows you down. It creates a moment of quiet care. And in that pause, whether it's 2 minutes or 5, you reconnect with your body in a way that's easy to forget in a busy life. This isn't just about hair growth. It's about grounding. It's about turning a routine into a ritual. And it's about reminding yourself that you are still worthy of tenderness, still deserving of touch, and still capable of nourishing yourself in ways that are both simple and deeply meaningful. 5. Common mistakes that quietly harm hair over time. Even with the best intentions, most of us have developed hair care habits over the years that feel harmless, but may actually be working against us, especially after 60. These mistakes are rarely dramatic or obvious. They show up slowly, over time, as more shedding in the brush, more dryness at the ends, or that subtle feeling that your hair just isn't bouncing back the way it used to. But the good news is, once you know what these habits are, you can start replacing them gently and confidently with better ones. One of the most common mistakes is washing your hair too often. In younger years, daily washing might have felt necessary, especially if your scalp was oily or if you styled your hair frequently. But after 60, your scalp naturally produces less oil, which means it no longer needs or wants that same level of cleansing. Washing too often strips away what little moisture your scalp still has, leaving it dry and your hair brittle. For most women, 2 or 3 washes a week is the sweet spot. Another quiet mistake is using water that's too hot. A steamy shower may feel soothing, especially on stiff joints or tired muscles, but hot water can be harsh on your scalp and hair. It opens the cuticle too aggressively, causing frizz and breakage, and it washes away the natural oils that protect your strands. Lukewarm water is a better choice, and a final rinse with cool water helps seal the cuticle, locking in moisture and shine. Many women also make the mistake of applying conditioner to the scalp. While this might seem like a good way to keep everything hydrated, it actually clogs the scalp, weighs down your roots, and can lead to product buildup or irritation. Conditioner should only be applied to the mid-lengths and ends of your hair, where the strands need the most support. Then there's how we brush. Brushing wet hair with a regular bristle brush may feel like second nature, but wet hair is especially fragile. Tugging through tangles can cause snapping and unnecessary shedding. Instead, use a wide-tooth comb or a detangling brush designed for fragile hair. Start from the ends, hold each section near the root, and work your way up slowly. Finally, how you dry your hair matters more than you think. Rubbing it with a thick towel or twisting it into a tight wrap can cause breakage right when your hair is at its weakest, wet, soft, and elastic. Use a microfiber towel or a soft cotton t-shirt to gently blot and press the water out, section by section. It may take a little longer, but it protects every strand from damage you may not even see until weeks later. None of these habits come from carelessness. They come from routine, from doing what we've always done. But the beautiful thing about habits is that they can be changed, quietly, gently, and one step at a time. And every time you choose a new way, you're telling your body, your scalp, your hair, and even your spirit, I am still learning. I am still listening. I am still worth this care. 6. When to wash. Let your scalp speak. One of the most common questions women ask after 60 is, how often should I wash my hair now? And the answer, surprisingly, isn't found on a calendar. It's found in your scalp. Because as we age, the idea that clean equals daily no longer applies. In fact, washing too frequently can often do more harm than good. After menopause, your body produces less estrogen, and along with it, your scalp produces less oil. That means the natural lubrication that once kept your hair soft and your scalp balanced is now reduced. If you keep washing like you did in your younger years, you risk stripping away what little moisture remains. The result? A scalp that feels tight or itchy, and hair that becomes brittle and dry at the ends. For most women over 60, 2 to 3 washes per week is ideal. This gives your scalp time to rebalance its oils and gives your hair a chance to retain moisture between washes. If your hair is especially dry or curly, even once or twice a week may be enough. On the other hand, if you exercise regularly or still experience some oiliness, 3 washes might be better. The key is to stop following fixed routines and start listening to how your scalp feels. The time of day you wash your hair can also make a difference. Morning washes are great if you like to let your hair air dry or if you want to style it fresh for the day ahead. But if you prefer washing at night, there's one rule you should always follow. Never go to bed with wet hair. Sleeping with damp hair, especially tied tightly or wrapped in a towel, creates the perfect environment for friction, tangles, and even bacteria or fungal growth on the scalp. If you do wash at night, gently towel dry with care, then finish with a cool blow dry until your hair is fully dry before heading to bed. There's one more thing worth mentioning. On days when you're feeling unwell, emotionally overwhelmed, or deeply tired, it's perfectly okay to skip the wash. Stress hormones like cortisol can already trigger hair shedding. Adding the mechanical stress of washing and styling may only intensify it. Sometimes, the most healing thing you can do is rest and return to your routine the next day with a clearer mind and a gentler hand. In the end, this is not about rigid schedules or following someone else's rules. It's about reconnecting with your body's signals. If your scalp feels oily, give it a cleanse. If it feels balanced, give it a break. If your ends are dry, focus on moisture. And if your whole system feels tired, choose rest over routine. Because after 60, your beauty doesn't come from doing more. It comes from listening more closely to yourself. 7. Post-wash protection. After you've finished washing and conditioning your hair, what happens next is just as important as everything that came before. Your hair is most vulnerable when it's wet. It's softer, more elastic, and more prone to breakage. That means the way you dry, detangle, and protect your hair in those first few minutes can either support its strength or quietly lead to more damage. Start with the towel. Most of us were taught to rub our hair dry with a thick towel or wrap it tightly on top of our heads. But traditional towels create friction, and friction leads to frizz, split ends, and breakage. Instead, try switching to a microfiber towel or a soft cotton t-shirt. These materials are gentler on delicate strands. Rather than rubbing, blot your hair. Gently press the towel around your hair to absorb water. No twisting, no pulling. Just gentle, patient drying. Next comes detangling. Wet hair should never be brushed with a standard bristle brush. The strands are too fragile, and pulling through knots can cause breakage that you won't notice until later. Use a wide-tooth comb or a detangling brush. Always start from the ends of your hair and work your way up slowly. If your hair tangles easily, apply a small amount of leave-in conditioner or detangling spray before combing. These products help the comb glide through more easily and reduce pulling on your scalp. Once your hair is detangled and towel dried, let it air dry as much as possible. Heat styling tools like blow dryers, curling irons, and flat irons can make hair look nice in the short term, but over time, they can weaken it, especially after 60. If you do use a blow dryer, apply a heat protectant spray first. Keep the heat on a low or cool setting and avoid aiming the nozzle directly at your scalp. The goal is to dry gently, not quickly. Now let's talk about how you sleep. Most people don't think about it, but the way you treat your hair at night makes a big difference. Cotton pillowcases create friction, which can lead to tangles and breakage while you toss and turn. Switching to a satin or silk pillowcase helps your hair glide more smoothly and reduces stress on the strands. If your hair is long, try loosely braiding it or tying it with a soft scrunchie before bed. This keeps it protected and prevents knots from forming overnight. If you want to take your nighttime routine a step further, you can apply a few drops of light oil such as argan, jojoba, or coconut on the ends of your hair before bed. This adds moisture, protects against dryness, and leaves your hair feeling softer in the morning. Just remember, a little goes a long way. Post-wash care isn't about doing more. It's about doing what you already do with more awareness. The towel you choose, the way you comb, the care you give before bed, these small steps add up. And they tell your hair in quiet, steady ways that it matters, that you matter. After 60, your beauty isn't in how fast you move. It's in how gently you care for yourself, and your hair will respond to that care, one soft strand at a time. As we come to the end of this journey, I want you to pause for a moment and reflect, not just on your hair, but on yourself. Everything you've heard in this video has been about more than shampoo, scalp massage, or conditioner. It's been about listening, about slowing down, about honoring where you are in life, not with regret, but with quiet pride. Your hair has been with you through it all, through decades of change, of joy and struggle, of raising families, building careers, saying goodbye, starting over. It has been cut, colored, curled, hidden under hats and scarves, and held gently by the hands of people who love you. And now, in this chapter of your life, it is asking for something new, not to be made young again, but to be treated with respect. You see, your hair is not about trying to impress anyone. It's not about perfection. It's about the ritual of care, the act of remembering that you still matter, that you're still worth time, touch, softness, that no matter what the world says about aging, you can choose a different voice, your own. Each time you wash with care, you're rewriting old habits. Each time you dry gently, you're showing yourself patience. Each time you sit quietly and massage your scalp, you are grounding yourself in the present moment. These aren't small acts. They're meaningful choices. They're moments of connection with yourself, with your history, and with your dignity. Your hair tells the truth. It tells of survival, of love, of experience. And even if it's thinner or slower to grow, even if it's gone silver or soft or sparse, it still reflects your strength. That strength may look different now, but it's no less powerful. In fact, it's more real than ever. So I encourage you, the next time you step into the shower or stand at your mirror, to see more than just hair. See a woman who continues to show up, who continues to learn, who continues to grow, not in spite of time, but because of it. If this video gave you comfort, if it reminded you of your worth, or simply made you feel seen,
I'd love for you to stay. Subscribe, leave a comment. Share this with a friend who may need this kind of message today. Thank you.